Who've gone through that path. We know of Tyler Perry, Madea, Sylvester Stallone, who has made a lot of money as Rocky and Rambo, Steve Harvey, all individuals who were once homeless. So your situation can actually help become your testimony in your story of success. So use that situation to fuel and motivate you to never, ever give up. In fact, I remember myself not too long ago. And 2013 was a challenging year. Now, my background doesn't say a lot of different things. I've done a lot of different things. I've worked in the public utility sector. I've been the highest ranking African American for a 27,000 employee company. I've owned companies, I've sold companies, I've ran nonprofits. But in 2013, I had the privilege of my best friend, which was my mother, having cancer, passing. My best friend, since the age of 5 years old, also had a massive heart attack and died 60 days later. I went through a divorce. And I also, the company that I was representing as the president and CEO at the time, a nonprofit nationally, went through a merger acquisition, and ultimately, I lost my job. So I found myself wanting to help other people and actually deciding to get into the financial industry world. If you know anything about the financial industry sector, I handle securities and I handle life insurance, and I help work with companies to try to get them stabilized. But what someone didn't tell me was that in the first several years, you have to pay to be in that business. They don't pay you, you pay them. And after going through about $100,000 in about a year and a half of my own personal money, I found myself close to being destitute. I had a company that I was not share their name, who recruited me to work for. I developed a very strong relationship with one of their regional VPs, and he flew me out of his own budget to his corporate headquarters that just so happened to be in Illinois. He wanted me to meet with several other executives, and he thought that I had the talent and skills that they needed somewhere in this country. When I walked into the office of the Vice President of Human Resources, he never turned around to look at me. In fact, the conversation was short and sweet. Now, on paper, we should have had a lot in common. He also had owned some businesses that were similar to some things I had done before. We were both products of corporate America, and we happened to also be African American. But in about 20 minutes of flying in, he thanked me for my time and he basically asked me to excuse myself. So in traveling back to Alabama, what he didn't know is that I was trying to break into this new industry and had exhausted all of my funds. My credit cards were maxed out. I had $5 in my pocket. And I happened to be flying through Dallas through the town of the ice storm. And once I got there, we were on the runway, getting ready to taxi off after waiting about 7 planes deep. And as we began to taxi off, the plane veered to the left and said that the pilot's time had exhausted and the flight was going to be canceled. And I stayed in the Dallas airport for about 2 days. Called the company to say, hey, I'm stuck. They basically said, keep us posted. Let us know how it works out. So with $5 in my pocket, I sat on the floor and I realized that the only person that can get you out of this situation is you. My attitude had to determine my altitude. I was feeling a little sad for myself. My mother had died, my best friend had died, I had gone through a divorce, I had lost my job, my attitude was bad. But I realized that day that the only person that could help determine my altitude was me. And so instead of feeling sorry for myself, I used that as a wake-up call to get me and to pick me up. And so when I got on that flight, I returned home. 60 days later, I got a call to join education. And so I will say that since that time, it's amazing because, God works in mysterious ways. 60 days after that traumatic event, I closed 2 deals that I had been working on that recouped all the money that I had invested in the business. And in addition to that, I was able to now gain a commission over the next several years until I became a president and became a conflict of interest. They continue to pay me while also being a full-time employee. So persistence, your attitude can help determine your attitude, your altitude. But also, I want to share with you just a couple of things and tell you this. Don't let your past create and determine your future. Remember, it took Thomas Edison 10,000 tries before he invented the light bulb. He doesn't say 10,000 failures, he says 10,000 tries. Michael Jordan, he missed over 9,000 shots. He lost over 300 ball games. He was cut from his high school basketball team. He actually took the winning shot 26 times and missed it 26 times. Yet and still, we never talk about what he didn't do. We talk about that he's still considered the greatest of our time. And next, I want to talk about the letter I. And I want you to be intentional. Go for what you want in life, because if you don't, what you don't want in life will occupy that space. Let me say that again. Go for what you want in life, because if you don't, what you don't want will fill that space. Control your time. Use every minute wisely. Create a plan and then attack it. Nipsey Hussle, who was recently killed, said a dream without a plan is a wish. Don't expect from others. Put in your own work. Put in your own grind. And last, I want to use the letter M. Be a maximizer. As my young brother said earlier, network, network, network. Collaborate and work. Focus on what you want to accomplish and say to yourself the lyrics of DJ Khaled, all I do is win, win, win no matter what. Because when you tell yourself you're a winner, you'll find yourself being a winner. When you maximize your belief in yourself and situations you can control and see yourself winning, you will win. Speak victories in the atmosphere. In 2011, I wrote down some goals. I'm not going to share them all with you. I told you about 2013, but let me tell you about 2011. Because in 2011, I placed on a piece of paper some goals that I wanted to accomplish in 2021, about 2021. One of those was to get into higher education. Now, mind you, I had never taught or even considered how I was going to get into higher education. But I wrote it down. I also put in there that I wanted to complete my PhD. And I wanted to attend the Final Four on an annual basis. And I wanted to diversify my income stream with investment properties. Now today, 8 years later, I've served as a dean. I've served as a special assistant to a chancellor. I'm a VP, and I've served as a president of an institution. Speaking into the atmosphere. The power of speaking what you want into the atmosphere is priceless. Believe in yourself. I also had the privilege of my Auburn University alum of attending the Final Four in Minneapolis this past year. Now, we didn't win. If you saw the call, we were robbed, but that didn't matter. I made it. but speak it into existence and maximize the things you can control. I want you to understand this, that failure is a part of your success story. So don't be afraid to fail. Matter of fact, fail and fail quickly. But learn to fail, to learn, and to succeed. If you fall down 5 times, get up 6. If you fall down 5 times, get back up. Because when people come to you and they ask you, how did you do it? No one has ever came to me and asked me in my success times of the story that it took to get there. It's the failures that built what I needed for the successes when they came. So fail and fail often. If you continue to prepare yourself, you strive to have the right attitude, you become intentional in your pursuits, and you maximize your belief in yourself, you will find that your aim towards the target of the luck that you are trying to do will be sharpened and your successes will increase. Now, Nipsey Hussle, again, was a very talented artist. And I think it is appropriate as we are talking about student leadership that he had a couple of lyrics in his song, Victory Lap. And as I take my seat, I want to share those lyrics. He says, spoke some things into the universe and they appeared. I say it's worth it. I won't say it's fair. Find your purpose. Thank you.